Hello and welcome. I'm Melinda Akinlami. Tonight, suspended Chief Justice of Nigeria, Walter Onnoghen, loses bid to stop his trial for alleged non-declaration of assets by the Code of Conduct Tribunal. Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, charges former Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Babaji Lawal, and former NIA boss, Ayodele Oke, to court over alleged fraud. Group protest against planned impeachment of Lagos State Governor Akinwumi Ambode by State Assembly lawmakers. And rescuers continue search for Djibouti boat accident where no fewer than 130 migrants have been declared missing.
Business news tonight. American beverages giant The Coca-Cola Company announces complete acquisition of indigenous beverage company Chi Limited.
Alan, sports news tonight. Brazil international Neymar ruled out for up to 10 weeks and will miss both legs of Paris Saint-Germain's Champions League round of 16 tie against Manchester United Football Club.
The nation's capital Independent National Electoral Commission set to release final list of candidates for governorship, state houses of assembly and FCT area council elections on Thursday.
Attempts by the suspended CJN Justice Walter Onnoghen to stop his trial at the Code of Conduct Tribunal for alleged non-declaration of assets suffered a setback at the Court of Appeal today. The court did not only dismiss the suit seeking a stay of proceedings on the trial, but also ruled that there were no special circumstances under which the prayer of the CJN could be granted in the appeal. Our correspondent Kayla Megwa has the rest of the story.
It was a very slow morning at the appellate courthouse in the nation's capital. Talk of the two-day Nigerian Bar Association boycott was making the rounds, and some lawyers here say despite their loyalty to the NBA, they have a commitment to their clients. And when the registry of the appeal court asks you to appear for a hearing, you have to comply.
We have respect for the Court of Appeal, and we felt that this matter is a matter of national interest, and then we should at least obey the Court of Appeal to be here and, get the ruling of the Court of Appeal.
When the appellate court gives a date and you don't come for it, sometimes you might not get date for the next 3 years. So that is why some of us decided to come to. At the trial level, we have some other cases that we didn't even attend to.
At some point, one of the registrars announces that the case will commence at noon. And at 19 past noon, the judges, counsels for the appellant and respondents had settled into the business in hand. Justice Abdul Aboki ruled that the application for stay of proceedings at the Code of Conduct Tribunal on the alleged false declaration of assets against Justice Onnoghen had been denied, stating the criminal nature of the case. Therefore, the Code of Conduct Tribunal can proceed with the trial of Justice Onnoghen on alleged false declaration of assets.
Are you people waiting for me?
Counsel for Justice Onnoghen did not address the press after the ruling. Some lawyers, however, shared their views on the ruling.
As it relates to criminal proceedings, according to Section 306 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, that issues of stay of proceedings and issues of sort injunctions are not entertained. And so this court ruled that since it is a provision of statute and law, that they will not stay or grant that application.
So basically, based on this ruling, Justice Walter Onnoghen has to go back to the Code of Conduct Tribunal to stand trial for the alleged false declaration of assets brought up against him. Kayla Megwa, Channels Television News.
And here in Lagos, the two-day boycott order issued by the Nigerian Bar Association to lawyers in protest against the CJN suspension is still greeted with mixed reactions. At the Lagos State High Court, Igbosheri, cases have continued without disruption as lawyers were seen going about their duties. According to them, the directive is not effective because judges are not part of the boycott and the compliance officers were not around to enforce it.
As it stands, for those in Ikeja, some said courts were not sitting. But as for Igboshere here, a lot of court starts. Yesterday I had 6 matters. Today I'm in court. Tomorrow I'll be in court. So I feel it depends on the court, depends on the judge, and depends on the lawyer. Because your clients are very important. You have to be in court to defend them.
You see, yesterday I complied with the directive, but over the news, we just discovered that the directive wasn't too effective, let me say that. And moreover, today's matter is quite important, and to get to this date has been quite hectic. So I can't afford to waste today's proceedings.
To other stories, but staying with legal matters, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has filed fraud charges against the former Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mr. Babachir, and the former Director General of the National Intelligence Agency, Mr. Ayodele Oke, as well as his wife, Folashade. The charges were filed at a high court in the Federal Capital Territory today. The former SGF and his company, Roller Vision, will face 10 counts of alleged fraud, while the former NIA boss, Ayoke, and his wife face 4 counts of alleged fraud. The development comes a week after Vice President Yemi Osinbajo said President Buhari had asked anti-corruption agencies to prepare criminal charges against the former SGF. Mr. Lawal was indicted of fraud by a Senate ad hoc committee investigating a contract awarded for the clearing of a site in Yobe State through the Presidential Initiative on Northeast Pine. The investigation revealed that Pine, which was under Mr. Lawal at that time, was unable to account for 2.5 billion naira assigned to it to ease the suffering of IDPs. Mr. Lawal was sacked on October the 31st, 2017 by the president, but without being prosecuted. In the case of Mr. Oke, he was suspended in April 2017 by President Buhari after anti-corruption officers from the EFCC found more than $43 million in an apartment at Osborne Towers, Ikoyi, Lagos. A group in Lagos has staged a protest at the State House of Assembly complex at Alausa against the plan by the lawmakers to impeach Governor Akinwumi Ambode. The group, which identified itself as a coalition of People's Assembly in Lagos State, is demanding that the governor be left alone to complete his term.
The road leading to the Lagos State House of Assembly on a lockdown. Some residents of the state are here with placards to protest and also register their displeasure over a purported plan by the lawmakers in the State House of Assembly to impeach the governor, Akinwumi Ambode.
We are here today to appeal to Lagos State House of Assembly that they should step aside the issue of impeaching Governor Akinwumi Ambode. We are saying that Ambode, by record, is the best performing governor in Nigeria. And we are saying the ticket of the party has been taken away from him. And he's still a loyal member of the party. And so we are saying that in the interest of Lagosians, in the interest of the people that Ambode have served, that Lagos State House of Assembly should stop the impeachment process.
The majority leader of the House, Honorable Agumbiade, addresses the crowd, assuring them that their issues will be looked into.
We have the mandate of the House of Assembly to receive any group of people or one person that have things to say to the Assembly. We are representative of the people, we are responsive and we are responsible. And we appreciate the fact that they say they have confidence in the House of Assembly. We want to assure everybody that there is no crisis in Lagos State. What is just happening is the legislators are doing what they should do in view of the budget of 2019 budget of the government, which is not yet before the Assembly. We have said that severally, is in the media. And of course, we are saying things should be done accordingly.
The next few days will definitely reveal the decisions of the Lagos State House of Assembly, and these protesters will hope that all issues involving Governor Ambode are resolved amicably.
The presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, says investors expect some level of stability and consistency in government policies in order to attract more foreign direct investment. The PDP flag bearer was speaking when he addressed the members of the Lagos Island Club on his vision for the country if elected. Our correspondent Chris Elems reports that some of the plans include introducing reforms that will optimize the performance of the private sector.
It's the 2019 quarterly business meeting of the Island Club, and the guest lecturer for the day is the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar.
I welcome you all to another edition of the Island Club Business Lecture.
Members of the club, party officials and loyalists, including the Senate President Bukola Saraki and former President Olusegun Obasanjo, are present to witness the event.
Welcome the former Vice President of Nigeria.
While delivering his lecture on My Vision to Get Nigeria Working Again, the PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar condemns the suspension of Justice Walter Onoge, describing it as unconstitutional.
The Constitution provides laid down rules for the suspension or removal of the CGN, and this has not been followed. This is a grave attack on our Constitution and the people of our country.
He speaks on his plans to boost the economy through improved foreign direct investment and human capital development.
We will create an economic stimulus fund with an initial investment capacity of approximately $25 billion to support private sector investments in infrastructure. Power sector reform will be a critical policy priority.
In his remark, former President Olusegun Obasanjo reaffirms his position on the performance of the current administration.
First, a leader must know who he is and present himself as he is, a human being in blood and flesh, and susceptible to human mistakes and human frailties. Don't cover up with sanctimonious veneer of bogus integrity.
With barely 2 weeks to the election, political parties and their candidates will have more engagements like this, all in a bid to sell their programs to the electorate. However, the final decision lies with the voters, who will have the final say at the polls. Chris Elems, Channels Television News.
Nigeria's former High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, Dr. Christopher Kolade, says restructuring, as presently being canvassed for by different groups, cannot be done in isolation of the citizens. Dr. Kolade, who was speaking at a town hall on the imperatives of restructuring to national development in Lagos today, insists that every Nigerian has a role to play if restructuring must achieve the desired result.
My question is this: do we even know what we have to contribute to a Nigerian nation? Yes, we have quite a Yoruba nation, that's good. But do we know what we have to offer to make Nigeria, which is a geographical expression recognized by the whole world? It is possible for us, just from inputting what we can contribute, the quality of what we have, just by expressing that quality, it is possible for us to earn the respect of everybody else. And once we earn that respect, we will not be asking anyone to come and offer us restructuring. You know what? We, by our performance, will be restructuring the place, and everyone will be saying, how marvelous.
In part two, after the break, President Muhammadu Buhari's campaign trail burst in southern states of Cross River and Ebonyi with a promise to deliver good governance to the people. Please stay with us.